Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is July 23rd, 2026, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Salt Lake. We're at 2635 South, 500 East. And we have the camera pushed all the way out to the city connection, 114 feet out. So pretty average length from the roof stack. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So that first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Bear with me, I've got my camera situated right up by the ridge. We're on the roof. And to be able to see my screen, I've got to be kind of in an awkward position. But it looks like you have some cast iron right off the bat. Cast iron is usually the weakest link. It gets rough and rusty and will eventually need to be replaced. So far it's looking like you have proper grade, which is important. You always want to have proper grade where it's grading on its own with gravity. Looks like we've transitioned out of that cast iron. I think you're going to have more under the house, but none through here, which is good. I'm not seeing any standing water so far, which is great. That means that you have proper grade, at least for now. You never want to have standing water. That would indicate that you have a belly or a flat spot. I've not seen any roots so far. I would recommend the insurance on this line because it is the original pipe. I think this is clay. Well, now we're back in cast. I would recommend the insurance, and you can get HomeServe. That's a popular one in Salt Lake, and actually they call it sewer line protection. I think it's a little different from insurance, but basically if you have a backup, they will come clear it. If you have a failure, they can put money towards fixing it. They don't cover what's under the house. They don't cover what's in the street, but it is better than not having it at all. It's not terribly expensive either. Have the cast iron cleaned proactively, smooth it out. This makes it less likely to have waste get stuck and create a blockage. Catch-22 because if you clean the cast iron, it's helpful because it smooths it out, but it also can thin it out. And if they're too aggressive in cleaning it, or if you have a section that's very thin, it can leave a hole or blow a hole depending on how they're cleaning it. You do want to be aware there's a risk in cleaning it, but there's also a risk in not cleaning it because it's rough. So it's easier for waste to get stuck and create a blockage. A little bit of an offset there, a little bit of a lip. Alright, now we're just coming up the roof stack. 10 feet when I pulled it out. So you can deduct 10 feet from whatever we started at. I think it was 114. So this line's more like 100 feet out, or 105. You do have cast iron. That'll eventually need to be replaced, but no standing water. No real significant offsets. You have some small ones. No big roots. Really, it looks like the line's performing, but it is older, and so I would at least recommend the insurance and keep it in mind and budget for an eventual replacement. Cast iron can last for many decades, but this has also been in use for several decades, a century at this point. I'm going to end this recording now.